Hi, Rick. Um, yeah. The Ken Dryden ceremony is going to start now, and yeah, big day for that. Big 2 days for the Habs. They got Lane Hudson signed, Morton Hughes. Yeah, really like best case scenario across the board. The Lane Hudson contract, the Hughes and Gordon contracts, like the future is very much coming into focus for the Canadians right now. They've got their top line and their top 3 defensemen locked up for the rest of the decade and beyond outside of Suzuki. Um, they'll probably get, Demidov signed next, and then the architects who built this team are here and staying. So, yeah, just a very, very, very promising week for the Canadians. Obviously, the results are to be seen, but for now, they've got a team that they feel very good about locked in. Wow, look at all the ex-Habs on the bench. Wow, what a beautiful scene. I agree. I think that Matheson is going to resign. I think if you had asked me last season, I would have said no. but I think it's very much tied to the David Reinbacher injury and the fact that he's just not gonna be ready yet. Like, at this point, he's gonna need a whole season of Laval before I think he can even step on the ice in Montreal, let alone take a top 4 spot. So, with Matheson the thing is Matheson can get a lot on the open market, I think. He's not that old, and he's in very good shape, but sounds like he really wants to be here, and he's gonna have to get with the program like all the other players are signing team-friendly deals right now. So I think Matheson will be back. I think he'll be paid more than what he's paid right now, but I'd imagine I think it'd probably be similar to that second contract that Petrie signed. There was, like, that kinda 3 or 4 years, 6.25, something like that. I would imagine Matheson's probably somewhere in that range. Uh, that's what I that's that would be my prediction for Matheson, but I totally agree. I think current situation has seen that he'll be back as much as they would probably want Lane Hudson to play on the left side. They're not finding another top 4 right defenseman, I think, that easily. So it's easier to just bring Matheson back. Yeah, what an amazing ceremony that was. You know, the thing about the Canadians, I think that they do it so well. Well, one, they don't have to do that much. They don't have to lay it on too thick. You know, I watch like newer teams, you know, obviously it's a different thing, but they need like, you know, buzzers and gizmos and giant guys in costumes and loud noise and things like that. And the Canadians just, you know, they could just bring out some old timers, a nice discreet spotlight on the net, and you're good to go. The fans will do the rest. So yeah, it was a very nice, simple ceremony. I think we're about to put the Maple Leafs opening ceremonies to shame. Well, not hard, not hard. Yeah. It's funny, just as, like, how the Canadians do it so effortlessly, it's just funny to watch the Maple Leafs, who I know they haven't won a cup in 60 years about, but, you know, they do have a long decorated history, and they just, like, I don't know, they always make it a little tacky. They don't quite have the same they don't have the gravitas that I think Canadian ceremony does. It's my possibly biased somewhat biased opinion probably, but I don't know. I don't hear anyone in Toronto telling me how amazing their ceremonies are or how amazing the fan experience is at, Scotiabank Arena. I hate yes, a lot of newer teams have strange sounds when their power play or PK ends. They do, and I hate it. I feel like if I were a player, I would, like, get the yips every time that happens, like, every time a Cayuga car horn or, like, broken glass, I'd be like, "What?" Puck pops over my stick, and I guess they're professionals and they're used to it. They don't get phased as easily as I do, but, uh but yeah, there's definitely, like, a lot of these things, and I think for the most part, the Canadians have avoided a lot of the marketing trappings that I think would, like, cheapen the brand a little bit. You know, I know, I know sometimes the music gets criticized a little bit, but, you know, they still have Deanne Bibeau on the keys. You know, they don't have, the intermission games are usually just, like, kids on the ice. They don't usually do much more than that. Um, yeah, they don't have any weird noisemakers. They don't have too many, too many weird bells and whistles. They don't have ice girls. Ice girls is pretty common in other cities now. Montreal has not done that yet. Karen, thank you for joining. I know that there were some of the regulars were wondering where you've been, but I know that this is a bit of an odd departure from the usual that we do. But thank you so much for joining. And yeah, I hope to in the temporary time that we need to be here to replace it. Although you know what, I do think just based on feedback so far, I think even if we go back to the old live blog soon, I think I would still occasionally do this. Like like I would ask you guys like when's a good time to do this? Maybe when there's a big game or I don't know, something. Some game of significance. Uh and then we can still do a live one cuz it's fun, I think. Ah, John Beliveau's wife is there. Yeah, not in attendance. They're not on the ice tonight. Struble and Veleno again, and man, I hope. I know last year it was pretty rough with Pizzetta. I don't know how they're gonna get him in, but we shall see. We shall see. You know what? It was funny. I was talking about no bells and whistles, and look at that. They got a pregame DJ, but playing Dire Straits. Okay, Canadians still do it old school. I love that. Every player chose their intro song. Wait, hold on. I gotta ask. If I had to pick my intro song, I would pick. Well, the actual song that I would pick is a song that I don't think anybody knows too well. The song "Riders" by Hudson Mohawk. But so let's pick a song that people know. What would I pick? I would probably pick uh, "Lifestyles" by the Rich Gang. Okay, maybe that's another song people don't know. But let's let's do "Lifestyle" by Rich Gang. That's already just my song for everyday life at this point. Yeah, I believe Anderson is, one of the few Habs who are still, um, pointless, and, but he's been good on the penalty kill, though, so that's the thing about Josh Anderson now, the points aren't coming, but he's made himself useful in other ways. The Kraken given us trouble before. I was thinking about this earlier today, can't even remember. They're 2-0 right now. They beat Vegas and Anaheim, but I can't say I remember. Yeah, they always get Shane Wright is indeed playing. I hope he's not still bitter. Think he's still bitter? Canadians always have these guys that just, like, don't sometimes of misery of our own making, but, yeah, sometimes they don't like the Habs, and they always play their best games against the Habs. Games after big ceremonies are often a problem for this team. That is something I would love to have the stat on that because I think you're right. I'm like, yeah, you're right. You're definitely right. I definitely remember a couple of Saturdays, that we were doing the live blog and we're all just sitting around twiddling our thumbs for 20, 30 minutes and then, waiting for the game to start. And then the game starts and Canadians take a penalty in the first 20 seconds and give up a goal in the first. I feel like that has happened quite a few times. Uh, the Canadians lose 8-3 to the Kraken last year. Let me look that up. Let me look up the Canadians last year against. Mhm. So they played against Seattle twice, and yes, they lost 8-2 and they lost 5-4 in overtime. So they did lose 8-2. Habs have the best defense in the league this year. The Habs, I don't know if they do yet because I haven't seen I'm not entirely sure what some of the other teams are cooking with, but, this is definitely the deepest defense I've seen the Habs have. I mean, the fact that Struble is their 7th is, I think bodes pretty well. And the fact that Jack Eye's 6th, I mean, Jack Eye's looked quite good so far. I mean, you know, penalties notwithstanding, of course. Yeah, no, Karen, this is, we were saying it earlier, this has been a very good week to be a Habs fan. I mean, they got Hudson locked up at a great deal. They got Hughes and Gorton locked up. Gorton got a little promotion too for his troubles. So, like, this team, the core of this team is really set. Like, it's not gonna be, there's gonna be lots of movement to take this team to the next level, but, like, the main core is together, and they look pretty solid. We will win tonight, no sweat. This team is going places, the chemistry is blending well, and the goaltending is in the top 10 bracket with improvement on the defensive end. Go Habs, go. The trade for Carrier changed last year, absolutely. They needed that. They needed that right defenseman. Oh, I know Kimmy. He was in a friend's production of a show that I saw. That's fun. And Eleanor Legacy is she's famous actress. She was on Big Brother. Yeah, so far, Mayu has. I mean, they gave him a job. I mean, they had to. That's why they acquired him. They needed a right-handed defenseman to go in right away, and he's been shaky because he's not. I don't think he's totally ready yet. That's a trade that'll play out in the long form. But I said last game, and I do believe this, that I think that will be a trade that I think will work out for both teams in its own way. Like the Canadians needed a guy like Bolduc, and Bolduc looks like he could be a real star for this team. St. Louis had no defensemen left. Like they had a very old defense and they had lost guys and they needed somebody. And I think yeah, I think at the very least, I think Logan's gonna be somebody for them. He's gonna be okay, but I do think the Canadians got the man they wanted. And I think they needed to it was the one thing that I think that Hughes needed to do, and that was like win a trade. Because I think we can all agree or no, I don't even wanna speculate that we might agree. Maybe we won't agree. But the Doc and U-Hook trades, I think have not I don't think they were bad trades. I think they were good risks to take, but I do think that neither player has, I think, lived up to the potential that I think when he traded them. And then obviously the, Lehkonen for Barron trade. I mean, all the draft picks they got and all these, like, worked out, so it's fine, but, they were never gonna resign Lehkonen anyway, so it was fine to move him. But, obviously Barron, well, they got Carrier for him, so it worked out in the end, but you know what I mean, like, when you're trading an established player for a younger player, the team acquiring the younger player assumes most of the risk, and so the Canadians in this case got a young player, but they did get the established player, and he's looking great so far. I don't know if they'll be able to get a center for Laine, but if Laine is on the 4th line and not playing much on the power play and not contributing much on the power play, it's like, why keep him? Like, why is he here? I mean, so on the other hand, we're not trading Laine. I mean, the at the end of the day, he still makes $8.7 million, and there are a lot of teams that just, like, can't afford to take on that kind of salary right now, so I think first things first, Laine needs to score some goals for the Canadians and get comfortable. 'Cause right now he's playing a much reduced role that he's not used to playing, and, it's having an effect. I do also like that anthem singing. Underrated when there's multiple singers and they harmonize. It's nice to have, like, the one singer who's, like, can really belt it out, but it's nice to have a nice little crew of singers with some nice harmonies. It's a very nice anthem. I enjoyed it as well. Yeah, Anderson is really, like I think has really stepped into this role now of, like, I don't need to score, you know, I don't need to, like, push myself to be that 20-goal guy anymore. He's just a solid contributor, hitting on this, guy who hits, kills penalties. Yannick Perreault was the last Hab to start his Hab career with 4 goals in 4 games. Well, as I'm sure you posted the reason you posted this is because somebody could do it tonight, and he's another local guy, so wouldn't that be cool? Yeah. I mean, that's, like, the tricky thing with a guy like Laine, right? If he's contributing, they're not gonna wanna trade him, and if he's not contributing, nobody's gonna want him, so All he can do at this point is contribute. All right, here we go. First period underway. No Guinness tonight. It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday and, oof, nice try. It's Tuesday, so no it's a school night for me, and I gotta be up early tomorrow to do, Hockey Inside Out with, Stu Knuckles and Greeny, which I hope you guys will watch. Are we expecting a big game from Hudson tonight? No, I didn't think, Demidov didn't back down, and nobody on the Habs backed down, I felt, so I'm looking forward to that this season from the Habs. Like, it feels like, this is a group that's pretty committed to each other, and, when that happens, I think you're a little more inclined to, jump in that, defend your teammate, jump into that skirmish, and, yeah, I'm hoping to see that the Habs this year, not back down. Ooh, Gallagher and Mahura were fighting for they were chasing the puck in the corner, and then Gallagher just leveled them. Wow. Yeah, I thought so too. I thought Mahura guess didn't sense Gallagher coming up from behind because it did look like he let up. I think he was expecting the whistle, which he did get in the end. Yeah. When I heard the whistle at first, I thought there was a penalty on. That would have been penalty for what? But yeah, it seemed like Gallagher had won that, but they do blow it before anyone touches it now. So there you go. What a goal. I mean, looks at that. Beats the offside and stops, catches everybody. I mean, there's passed that one through three Seattle guys. Nobody was able to stop on a time like it. What a play. Yeah, those are the kind of elite moves that a guy like Demidov can do, and not that many guys can do. Hey, Anthony. Thanks for coming. Yeah, new hook. You know what? When Demidov has got the puck, new hook, just go to the net. You don't have to do anything else. Let Demidov do all the work. He's gonna find you. Just be in front of the net so things can bounce off your stick and go in. I mean, look at that. Everybody's watching Demidov. Like nobody. Panthers fan. That's okay. You're all welcome. Even even a Leaf fan. I think we do have if some of our commenters are to believe, we have secret Leaf fans who just come to ruin our evening. The thing about the Panthers is, well, I mean, you guys won 2 cups in a row, so winning 3 cups is gonna be like it just doesn't happen really in the modern game, so I think you're just gonna have to and now, like, Barkov is hurt and Tkachuk is hurt. You might just have to accept that this is the year that's just not might not happen for you guys. The just I don't know. It looked like Tampa was gonna be able to do it, and then they couldn't do it, but you know what? I'm never gonna doubt Florida. The one thing I will say about Florida is they have a very, very, aggressive general manager that if things are not working great, he will he will make some moves quick to, to find something. Anyways, now the Canadians are on the power play. You can't have a rational conversation with Edmonton and Toronto fans? I'm sorry to hear that. I guess I'm not totally shocked. The Edmonton fans are desperate now, though, because I think they know now they go like right, like McDavid signed the 2-year extension, so they know what the window is. They have to win. So I think they're just like pure blinders right now. And Leafs fans are they've been hurt for so long. They don't even know how to feel anymore. And now the Jays are gonna lose. Sorry to all my Jays fans. They say Florida doesn't have any superstars. They have 2 very injured ones at the moment. I would also argue that Bobrovsky is probably top goalie, one of the top goalies in the league. Yeah, they got stars. Power play for the Canadiens. Don't get me wrong, I like Hughes and Gorton, but I won't give accolades until they match or better what the previous GM achieved. Stanley Cup Finals. Totally fair. Totally fair. They are still in the building up the team. They have not accomplished anything yet. I think we can see that, like, the pieces are in place that they can have a lot of success, but they still have to do it. So, the last thing that you would wanna do is, like, if you think that you're on an upward trajectory, is to, like, have them leave, but at the same time, yes, they do need to make it. So, I think that people are feeling good about management, and I feel like they're making the right decisions, but it's gonna have to translate. And last year, I feel like they made a big step to go to the playoffs. I think we're all expecting them to be, better this year. I think it would be a big disappointment if they couldn't match or better what they did. And then if they don't match or do better, then they'll have to make some moves. Man, Line A is not happy about that one. He's slamming his stick on that one. He had a wide open net for that one-timer, and he doesn't miss those often. Oh, just fanned on it. The Habs PP is gonna be very good this year. Um, yeah, it's interesting because we saw them go 2 for 10 on Saturday, and then we just saw them tonight, go for 1, but, like, I will say that the sustained offensive pressure is, like, there every power play. They just haven't finished yet. The finish isn't there yet, so we'll see what happens. They have so many guys that you think could finish, so could that be the problem that they don't? I don't know. I don't think Max is saying that the team, you know, is bad or on like on a bad trajectory or anything. I think he's just saying that he wants to see the results before assessing, how all these moves were, which is totally fair. I'm think about like the Leafs. For years, the Leafs, everyone when they were rebuilding, everyone was like, "Oh man, they got Matthews, they got Marner, they got Riley, like this team's ready to take the next step." And then they started doing well in the regular season standings. Everyone's like, "Oh, they're next, they're next." And then it didn't happen. And like, how would you assess, the Kyle Dubas years? You'd probably say that they were a disappointment because they showed so much promise and then like didn't cash in on any of it. So the Canadians, are potentially at risk of that, of like building this, great core. Everybody's like, yeah, they're going to be great. And then, but if they do still need to win. So that is like an important part of it. Yeah. You know what? Young team and the youngest team. And then also new faces, right? Like Demidov's new, Bolduc is new, Dobson is new, and they're all involved in the power play. And they're still like getting to know their teammates. Well, you knew this would happen. The Canadians now got a penalty of their own, but bit of a sus one. So you guys are saying. I want to see the replay. Hold on. Hold on a sec. We're gonna go. Coming back from commercial, and I'm gonna see the replay. Did going? Hold up. Still waiting for the replay. I want to see the replay before I make any judgment. It was a bit of a strange looking play. I wasn't expecting a. I wasn't expecting a penalty, so I want to see what exactly happened there. Jeez, Lane Lambert's a scary looking dude. Yeah, I think you're gonna hear that a lot this year. Lane Lambert talking about the Habs having a lot of speed. They do look they have looked very fast. It was like Chicago also looked very fast. So yeah, Caulfield in the box. Of course, he's the last guy who'll be killing penalties, so he doesn't take very many penalties though, I will say. Yeah, totally. Totally. They're not gonna feel like they succeeded unless they win as well. So I think you and the management are totally in agreement. What happened here? See, I thought that was gonna be. Oh yeah. That's an interference call on Evans. I thought Evans was gonna get a penalty at first for that little, like, stick tap, and then no, that's not at all what happened. Exact same play happened. Exact same interference call. That's funny. That is so funny. When do you never see it like that. Yeah. Marty's like, yep, Demidov on Tolvanen. So now we get to that's very funny. My cousin is captain of Laval. Is it Alex Belzil who's the captain? I don't think I checked. I think it's Belzil, right? Yes, but you can't do it that egregious. You gotta be subtle. It's basketball, right? In basketball, you gotta when you're throwing the pick play, you gotta be, like, subtle. You gotta be subtle about it. In this case, we're not subtle at all. Oh, I feel like every year the league gets, like I don't know if I'm not saying this was happening, but I feel like every year the league gets, like, some weird overreaction to something. Like, back in the day, like, toe in the crease, offside, goalie interference. I feel like there's always some play that they, like, try to overcorrect on all the time. Oh, it's Kandata who's the captain. Amazing. Well, an amazing accomplishment. Kandata's been just a real heart and soul guy for that team now for a few years, and I think it's been a really respectable been a solid call up too when he's played in Montreal, when he's come in, so, yeah, great guy to have on the farm. Give him my congratulations. Oh my goodness. What a play by Hudson. Me too. Kandata's a good that's a guy who didn't back down when he was in Montreal. Now Seattle's 5 on 4, and they are flying. But we're back to 5 on 5. Yeah, let's look at the replay of Hudson again. Got the give and go with Matheson, and then, oh, what a move. And then Montembeau with the save on Stevenson. Yeah, it's weird, the shots are only 3 and 3 so far. That doesn't seem right. I think who's ever counting for the Habs in the Bell Center tonight's a little stingy. Ooh, Gallagher got hit hard along the boards. He was a bit slow to get up. You gotta think that's gonna change. Yeah, it's crazy how no team with a $10 million player has ever won the Stanley Cup. I think during the flat cap era, totally understandable, makes sense, but I think now that the cap's gonna go up to, like, up and over 100 mil, maybe 120 mil, I think that's gonna change. I mean, 10 mil is not 10 mil anymore, right? 10 mil, 15 mil is gonna be the new 10 mil. So, do I think, like, the Wild paying Kaprizov 15 mil, are they gonna make the finals? Not so I don't think so. But, let's say if the Canadiens have to give 10 million to Demidov, or if they or somebody else ends up warranting $10 million, I think they're, like, in a good setup that they could probably withstand it. Oh, yeah, is Bobrovsky making the what is Bobrovsky's cap hit at the moment? Yeah, Bobrovsky's making 10 mil. Bobrovsky. Kaprizov's making 17 mil? Goodness gracious. That's a lot. He did not give them a discount. But you know what? I will say we have heard that Bill Guerin, the general manager for the Minnesota Wild, is a bit of a prickly guy to deal with, including people on his own staff who quit, rather than work with him. So I gotta be totally surprised that negotiations with their top player were a little acrimonious, which goes to show, the approach that Kent Hughes and Gordon has taken has proven to be very successful, although I will admit that none of the players that they've signed so far are of Kaprizov's caliber. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, right, you need depth to win. Like, you need to have your 3rd and 4th line be better than the other team's 3rd or 4th line. This is the Toronto Maple Leafs argument for the last 10 years, right? Like, they've front loaded their team under Kyle Dubas, and they haven't been able to get, far in the playoffs. That's because of depth. The Blue Jays fans at the Gazette, and yes, the Gazette newsroom does have some Blue Jays fans, they were in shambles this morning. Um, as you guys may or may not know, I'm a San Francisco Giants fan, so I'm perpetually in shambles and always feeling terrible about myself. But, Blue Jays fans are not feeling great, and, yeah. Yeah, that's baseball, man. Baseball is, Momentum can shift real fast. I don't understand why they celebrate a series win. I know in baseball, they were making champagne slippy slides in the locker room, and then, like, when a team in hockey wins, they won't even touch the trophy until it's the cup. Such a difference, in the games, you know what I mean? I'm not saying one's better than the other, but, do like a champagne slippy slide as much as the next guy, but, it's just strange, how the hockey guys are so superstitious, whereas the baseball guys at least I mean, baseball guys are definitely superstitious, but they don't care about that as much, I guess. Yeah, totally fair. The Jays are not by no means out yet. I miss the old-fashioned Gazette standings and hockey box scores. Me too. Uh, I don't know how doable it is to bring them back. I'm sure if I pitched it in a meeting, they would all laugh at me, but I do think that because they're gonna say you know what they're gonna say? They're gonna say, "Well, you could just go on the w" you're just you're checking your phone before you check the paper in the morning, and you're gonna get the update standings on your phone, whereas me checking on the newspaper won't be as up to date, right? We probably won't even get, like, this game in time, we won't even get this game in time for the paper. Um, which I understand, but I don't know, I think there's something to be said about just looking at box scores, like baseball and hockey. I just like looking at them, but what can I say? I don't make the paper, I just write for it and edit it and make some pictures and the occasional chart and graph. Oh, the poor Toronto. Nah, not poor Toronto. It's fun to make fun of them. I will allow it. How about the fact that Gazette writes the sports section before game time? Yes, this is, you might ask me, why do we do that? What is the point? And I will basically tell you, it's not a Gazette problem so much as a newspaper problem, which is funny because you would think that technology would make this a lot easier, but one of the things that's actually got a lot more complicated, as technology has progressed is making a newspaper. It actually takes a lot longer, it's a lot more expensive, it's a lot harder to find the facilities, because that used to have its own facility to make a newspaper, and now we contract it out, and it's incredibly hard to find people to deliver the newspaper. So, making a newspaper has actually become this very, like, convoluted, difficult process, which is why the paper is made earlier and earlier. There was just less of papers, like, there are places that we don't used to deliver that we don't deliver anymore, which is the the sucky answer that I can tell you, but I can tell you that this is not exclusive to the Gazette. This is, pretty much outside of New York, I think everybody has this. In London, pretty much everybody has this newspaper issues. You got La Presse in French, they don't even make a newspaper anymore. The Journal is still hardcore. The Journal is still, like, they got their late do you still make a late edition? Okay, I don't know if they make a late edition anymore, but, El juego va muy bien. Los canadienses, ganado 1-0. Oh, my Spanish is terrible, guys. I'm so sorry. My Spanish used to be a lot better. I know ganar is the verb to win, but they're not winning. They're winning. And also, I get confused with my French as well, obviously. Yes, Bobrovsky, we established, is the exception to the rule. So you could say that no player, like a skater, has made $10 million and won a cup. Uh, but now you've got guys like, obviously McDavid, Draisaitl, Eichel, McKinnon maybe, Rantanen in Dallas. Somebody's gonna get it. The Saturday Gazette had team player stats when I was a kid. I know, they had everything. You know what? So we did a digital project last week. We did the top 20 power players in Montreal hockey, and this was partially inspired when I was a kid. I don't know if you guys remember, but they in the Saturday paper, they would occasionally have deals where it would be delivered with hockey cards or with stickers. Somebody would sponsor it. Like Metro Canada sponsors like stickers, you know, and you get these player things. So for this feature, which you can read on the Gazette website, the top 20 power players, the most influential people in Montreal hockey, I actually got Aislinn to do hockey cards. Like these are hockey cards for you guys. So I'll post the link shortly, but if you haven't checked it out yet, please do. I had a Stu, Herb, Brendan, and we had a great time working on it. Here you go. Yeah, 4-4 in shots. Bit unexpected, but I thought the play was pretty open ended. I don't know. I feel like they're like a little low in shots. Am I crazy? I feel like there was a little more action than it looked, but maybe I'm wrong. I would hit 11.5. That again, like I don't know, I felt more like trying to think of like what hits I saw. I think I saw Alexiak definitely pace Doc into the boards. Obviously, there was the Gallagher hit. But yeah, not too much. Pretty quiet all around. Oh, also an interesting stat. Kraken 57.9 the faceoff. So they have some nice depth up the middle. Chandler Stevenson's really good. A little overpaid for what they get for him, but definitely good in the faceoff dot. And they got Fred Gaudreau from Minnesota in the off. So. No, no, it's Tuesday. It's Tuesday night, so I'm drinking water. I have an early work day tomorrow, so I'm it's a school night for me, so I'm being nice. I'm gonna keep drinking beer on the Saturday games though. That's a very nice gesture from Rick. I'll 90 years old, Elise Beliveau. Yeah, 90. He is. Yes, he's in the couch behind me. He knocked his blanket on the floor and he's looking very uncomfortable and annoyed that I'm not cuddling with him. But I'll cuddle with him after. It's okay. He gets enough cuddles in the day. Say that. Yeah, the PP, we think is gonna be a big strength for this team this year, especially with Lane Hudson. Lane Hudson has not hit the lap much this year so far. got off to a slow start, but, now that the contract is signed, I'm hoping that he'll play better, and then when he plays better, the power play will follow suit. Uh, was he gone over the summer? 'Cause I mean, comments are off the website right now, so sometimes it's hard to keep track. I will say that in the summer, I don't keep track as much about commenters, so sometimes people get banned. Sometimes people say it and get banned in the summer. It's not me that does the banning. Could have been banned. Could be okay. I don't wanna say. I don't wanna say. I don't know. Well, I hope not. Well, if somebody finds out, do let me know. That would be very, very sad if that were the case. If something were to happen to Hunter. So do let me know. Well, Ballin, I think again, I don't know anything, and I'm not a big banner, but there are other moderators around here, and Ballin definitely could have been banned. Just knowing him, could have been banned. Could have been banned. Yeah, I would not. You know, that's the trouble with online communities. You just don't know. What could have happened to somebody if they disappear. But I wish you all the best, and I hope everybody's happy and healthy where they are. 14 to 5, that feels like a lot, but it's not how I necessarily saw it, but hey, they were they were paying attention to me. Maybe honestly, Seattle might have finished their checks a little more. That's probably what that was, but definitely possible. I'm still updating the live blog on the website as I normally would. Um, so you're welcome to go check that out if you want to see the new book again. If you want to see Demidov's amazing pass, you have that option. Wait, what new policy policing freedom of speech? I'm unaware of this policy. When is the blog going to have comments again? I hope really soon. I'm very sorry to say that it's a technical issue and not a desire issue. Trust me, my desire is not to be here on the screen all night. I am more of a writer. I like writing more. So I love my little live blog, and I'm very sad that it doesn't work at the moment. So I'm hoping in a couple of weeks we'll be back to the new. But I'm gonna be real with you guys. It's gonna be at least a couple of weeks. I don't think that they're gonna fix this tomorrow. Our the city of Montreal is having an election November 2nd, and I know that they don't wanna rock the boat on the website too much and break anything more, from now till then, so I suspect that, like, a little bit after that. So, definitely for the first month of the season, it's gonna be here, but the goal is absolutely to go back to the website and to not do this, although they still will sometimes, 'cause I think it's fun. So I'll do it occasionally, like, for the big games, we'll do this, but I definitely want the comments back on the website as soon as possible. But, uh but yes, we don't have a new policy policing freedom of speech. I wanna be very, very clear on that. I mean, if you're a jerk in the comments, like, you can be banned. You have to be nice. You could disagree with people, but you gotta be nice. You gotta be polite. Yeah, Caden Primo is starting for the Maple Leafs tonight. How about that? Good luck to the Toronto Maple Leafs, with Caden Primo. Hey, you know what? Caden Primo had a lot of potential. Uh, Gotta be the Post media techies hating Montreal. Yeah, pretty no, but we we were going to get we're getting some newer stuff because the Sun website is, like, much older. The other websites are much older, and we're gonna, like, get some new stuff. That's kind of the deal. So, but because it's newer, things break. Uh, is about what I can reveal about that, but that's all that's the gist of it. We got a Kraken PP coming up. That will be Matheson for tripping. I don't know how you guys are feeling about the penalty calls tonight. That is kind of what it looked like. I would agree. Very nice movement by Montembeau on that one. Montembeau was very shaky the first game and definitely started to look better in the Chicago game. And then so far tonight, it's looked good, obviously. I'm watching on RDS tonight, and it feels more up to date. Oof. Guy flew right over Monty's head. I'm on the RDS feed tonight, and it feels a lot faster than it feels, more ahead than, the Sportsnet feed the other night on Saturday was felt very behind. I felt like I was, like, a minute definitely at least a minute behind. Wow. Well, the crowd was booing Shane Wright a little bit, and he made them pay. What a pass. What a cross crease pass. He was low. I hear you, Karen. I am going to let them know. I always do. I always let them know to stop messing around with stuff and to keep the comments. We are absolutely 100% bringing the comments back. I just really do it fast. Do it fast, guys. I know. I'm really. This is not. This new format is like out of desperation because I did not want to leave you guys hanging. I didn't want it to be like last year. You guys remember last year when we didn't do the live blog for a month? I hated it. I wanted to offer you guys at least something, and this was the best that I could come up with if we can't comment on the website. So, I do thank you very much thank you guys for joining, and, I'm trying to make it work, and I will let you know as soon as I know about comments. And not just for, like, the live blog, but for, like, all the comments on all the website for all the stuff. Absolutely. I think Matheson playing 26 minutes is a stretch, and 22 minutes is much, much, much better. Yeah, Dobson is a hell of a lot better defensive mate than he's had. That's for sure. It's 1-1. I know, I should make a bug. I don't have a bug with the score on it. I should do that. Yeah, I just answered. Yeah, I should make a bug. It's 1-1. Anyways, everybody else, subscription-wise, I will be taking these notes to the higher ups. They do act when, squeaky wheels do get the grease around here sometimes. So I know that the last time around they did rush to bring back the live blog as soon as they could, and that was in large part thanks to you guys. You missed Jaden Schwartz scoring on the power play. Uh, yeah, Shane Wright with the assist. Yeah, so far Seattle's I think looked a lot better this period. I thought it was pretty even in the first period, and then now in Seattle's been better this period, I would say. Yeah, this is there you go. This is all because of you. You said it, and then the Habs scored right as I was about to comment. Cole Caulfield. It's 2-1. The Canadiens seem a little confused on the bench. It was a fast shot. Oh, nice little deflection by Doc in front of the net between the legs. Not a bad attempt there. He's played the least among the forwards tonight, Oliver Kapanen has. Oh, yeah, look. Oh, yeah, no, there was definitely a high stick on Kapanen, but they seemed to miss it. Hey, it happens. It was kind of a battle in the corner. Yeah, these Canadians are definitely they play with speed, but then when they're in the zone, they have a lot of patience. They definitely are not just firing on the net. And they're only down 10-9 in shots now. It's actually pretty close. How is it 10-9 halfway through the game? It doesn't make any sense. Is it really that few shots tonight? It just doesn't feel right. I don't know. I guess it is. Ooh, Gallagher with two nice chances there. First off the rush, and then getting the pass behind the net. Damn, is anybody else having trouble with Sportsnet Plus? I'm watching on RDS tonight, but that's if it's down for you, that stinks. I'm sorry to hear that. I don't know if anybody else is having that issue on Sportsnet Plus tonight. Interesting little factoid there on Gallagher, although admittedly, how many games have the Cabs played against Seattle? Not that many, right? What is it, their 4th season? So, like, they've played 6, probably their 7th game? Maybe even more now? 8? I mean, he's back should score at some point, but not there yet. Nice, anglicism from, Habs defensive coach Stéphane Robida. "Les shooting lane," he said. Yeah, when does that new Sportsnet deal kick in? That's gonna be that's gonna cost us. I wish I had more fun stats for you. I'll try to get some during the Natural Stat Trick usually has some good stuff. Not good. Seattle has, they look pretty good on that last power play, so you don't wanna give them too many chances tonight. Oh, nice little, Habs catch a break there. Dunn. Vince Dunn's really good, though. He moves really well on the back end. But, I don't know about his decision making, though. I think that keeps him from being, like, an elite guy. Look at Joey Decord coming out. What a very nice stretch pass from him. Yeah, Newhook has a very good, penalty killing by Newhook. He's got a lot of potential. He's the kinda guy that should be a bit like Anderson was like he didn't play a lot of PK, but he was very suited towards it because 'cause they're just, like they skate so well that all you need to do is sort of chase down the puck and, you can make good things happen on the PK. Back to even strength. Yeah, not a lot of room there. Ooh, very nice pass, Doc threading the saucer pass to, Gallagher, who was going to the net. That was a really nice try. Yeah, Monty's having a good night tonight. He's got 13 saves, and I feel like on that power play, he was even in traffic was able to come out and kick away the puck into that shot into the corner, and didn't give up a good rebound. So very nice to see. Does anyone have the face-off win percentage? Yes, we do. Hold on. It's 51% for the Habs. 51.4% exactly for the Habs. Yeah. So it's a slight lead for the Habs on the face-off department, 18 of 35. So literally they've won one more face-off than the Seattle Kraken. 50-50 is over 500,000 tonight. You see, one of the things that I sacrifice by doing this is I don't actually get to attend the game, right? Because I can't do this. I have to do this from home. I can't do this from the arena. So there you go. I may be passing up $500,000 to be here. No, that's okay. I don't mind. Probably wasn't gonna happen for me. There were no assists on the Caulfield goal. No assists. Did that goalie shot hit the posts, or was that, redirected wide? That was a good try. That was a nice little play by Slavkovsky. Didn't result in anything, but, holding the line there, putting the puck between his legs was pretty good. That is the first thing that you learn in hockey. No blind passes in your own zone into the center ice, but, hey, man, sometimes when the play's moving fast, it looks like your only option, but you're better off just eating along the boards half the time. Yeah, Jack Guy's, hasn't played much, but he's looked good when he has. I mean, that's just the virtue of being on a deep defense, right? There's just not that much room for him, but, on the 3rd pairing, he's doing really solid work, and he can really carve out a spot there. Some end-to-end play. Both teams are kinda struggling to get the puck deep, though. Seattle's got a chance here, though. Ooh. You could kinda see that one coming. The Canadians were struggling to clear the puck. The puck was starting to bounce over their sticks behind the net, and Seattle took advantage. The puck hit a glut of bodies in front. Do we know who? It looks like Neiman. Well, we use a service called Viafora, uh, which I assume we're in fixing it, I assume we're bringing back Viafora, which is also the thing that I use as for my chat widget. Yeah, lots of traffic in front, end of the period, things were getting a little broken, and, Seattle didn't pay. Yeah, totally. They're saying it was Neiman, so Neiman was the guy in front, so they're saying that it deflected off Neiman. Yeah, totally, honestly, end of the period, Canadians have kinda slowed down or dogging it a little bit in their zone, and they were a little too slow getting the puck out of their zone, and, Seattle totally took advantage. He's looked good when he's had the puck tonight, so let's see if he gets the puck back. Yeah, totally. That was, I we just said that Arbor was having a pretty good night, and then, oh boy. Seattle almost scored again with 12 seconds to go. Yanni Newman, for Seattle, very good player, very good prospect. I like his finish a lot. Second round pick. Hey, sometimes the second round picks pan out. Okay. I'm glad to hear it. I'm sorry you missed the Seattle goal, Karen. Not your fault though. Not your fault. Well, I like the idea that Demidov. I feel like there's enough room for him tonight to show off his skill, especially if the Habs get another power play, which I think they probably will. Sidney Crosby. I don't know. I'm not sure about this one yet. I just don't know. My inclination is that he stays, but we're still waiting on Kirby Doc. See how he does. Sounds like he's healthy now, which is always a tenuous thing with Kirby. Yeah, Tony is killing it right now. That's why we put him in the top, I think 12 or 13 of our most important Montreal hockey people. He's absolutely up there. Major influence right now, for sure. Karen, if Tony ever invites me on a show, I will let you know. Maybe. Could happen, right? Crazier things have happened. Uh, I know Stu's on the show. He probably Stu's too classy though. He wouldn't tell me, which fair. That's crazy news. That's a sign of how Pierre LeBrun is. He's a national. He's big money. Then again, you know what? Sometimes these hockey guys just love talking about hockey. You know, Stu's a good example. Stu made me laugh so much this summer. Stu during the season works his butt off. Like you guys don't know. I've never seen somebody consistently like write report like all day. Like the guy works all day on his day off. If Lane Hudson signs on his day off, uh, he would like come in on his day off and write about Lane Hudson signed. And then he has. I mean, he's so much built up vacation during. So like I think for 4 weeks in August, work tells him, "Yo, you got to take your vacation. You're gonna lose your vacation." What does he do? He like does all the podcasts. Like Stu, like just lives, breathes, eats hockey. Love him. Love his work ethic. That guy's a. I have no idea. Couldn't even tell you. What would I? I will say I do free appearances sometimes places, but I'm also not Pierre LeBrun, so I'm the Pierre LeBrun of Canadian indie rock. If somebody's a panel expert on Canadian indie rock, they usually call me. Well, Tony's got a beer sponsor, right? I would do I would do Tony's show for a. I would do the Tony show for a case of beer, especially his sponsor. He's got good sponsors. Yeah, Stu's amazing. Stu is Stu's always dependable. Actually, good story. I'll tell you guys. Uh, so obviously Ken Dryden. Today we paid tribute to Ken Dryden before the game. As you guys know, they announced the Ken Dryden passing on a Friday night. Um, so technically, I was the desk guy Saturday morning. So I was actually running like the news desk Saturday morning. And they announced the death just as like the Friday night person was changing over. So even though like it's overnight, like technically nothing really happens. Like I can usually get it in the morning. In this case, that was not the case. I had to get to it. So I did the quick like news, just the announcement. And within like 20 minutes, I didn't even have to message Stu. Stu messaged me. He's like, "Don't worry, I'm on it." And he wrote a beautiful piece in the middle of the night. I go to bed. I hand it off to somebody else. So somebody else said they're like, "Oh, like get up later, and we'll take care of it." Um, and then I wake up in the morning, and Jack Todd has already written like the most beautiful uh, obituary. If you haven't read it yet, absolutely read it. And then Alan goes out and shoots photos of the Ken Dryden statue in Ville Saint Laurent that people have put the flowers on. It was an incredible day. Like just obviously just incredibly sad for everybody and sad for our readers, and everybody was so nostalgic. But at the same time, it was the kind of like Ken Dryden is just such an incredible figure that, like, you wanna put the work in to, like, make sure, you do him justice, and, I was really proud of the work that we did. And we are back for the 3rd period. Yeah, sort of in tandem with Max's comment about the Canadiens being talented and expecting more, I do agree that Seattle is a good matchup against them. They've got the speed to be able to keep it close. There you go. Does Noah Dobson have his first goal as a Canadian? That looked like Dobson. Oh, it looks like now the camera's on Kirby Doc. Did Doc deflect it? Yeah, is it Dobson or Doc? If it's Doc, it hit his skate. Uh, I don't- let's see. Savard or Dobson? Gonna take Dobson. This is by a little bit. By a smidge. By a smidge, I'll take that. Kirby Doc. Is this gonna be Kirby Doc's season? No, I'm not. Let's not even get into it. It's, I have to say, I would imagine that you guys are all pretty impressed with Dobson so far. He's definitely like a really interesting defenseman. He's not sort of the natural physical defenseman despite his size, and he's not necessarily like the flashiest, but he moves the puck really well, and he seems to be a smart. But yeah, so far so good with the new additions, Bolduc and Dobson. I feel like we've seen sort of an instant benefit to adding them to the lineup for sure. And yeah, Kirby Doc, man. Like that oh, I guess that overtime or no, the 3rd period goal against the Hawks, it wasn't Slavkovsky didn't get it in the end, but it was very nice, Slavkovsky and then now Doc in front of the net, being big body presences on those goals, so that's also nice to see. Yeah, I don't know about that goal. I could see them changing it to Dobson. No, I don't know. It seemed like it hit the skate by a hair or something. Yeah, no bad penalties. Seattle looked good on the power play. Let us not. Do I have that stat right from RDS? The fourth straight home opening goal by Cole Caulfield. Yeah, is Caulfield gonna get 40, or he was so close to 40 last year? Can he get 40? Can he get 50? That's gonna be the big question. I mean, they've got more offense now. They've got more young guns here, but Caulfield still seems to be getting his goals. Ooh, Montebo is not happy about that one. I mean, Alexiak with a shot from the point. Montebo seemed. I mean, it wasn't Gooley. It didn't look like it was Gooley that got in the way, but there was definitely two guys screening, at least two guys screening in front. So we are once again tied with 15 minutes to go. Pretty much even in shots, 7-6 Seattle. So, I mean, it really has been a back and forth game. Nobody's really had the upper hand for particularly long, which reminds me a little bit of the Chicago game. Oh, and now Gooley with a nice shot, point shot, and then Decord gets a pretty generous whistle, I would say. Doubt Caulfield will get 50 if the new talent continues to progress. A more complete player may replace him on the first line before the end of the year. I think if somebody gets replaced on that line, it's probably going to be Slavkovsky. But I get what you're saying, and I do think that there is a possibility that the first line not be the first line for forever. Like, that there is potential, and so far, the other lines seem to be producing more than the top line, which is kind of interesting. Kapanen's actually hit, yeah, Kapanen's, I don't think he's a softie. He's got 2 blocks tonight. Yeah, I don't totally think that, Kapanen is, is maybe the archetype of the sort of the skilled Scandinavian player. I think he's got a little more jam in him than that. Caulfield's a first liner 90%. If absolutely, he's a first liner here too. I'm just saying that there's potential that, they just start messing around with the lines, basically. You know, nice point shot by Matheson. Yeah, we let the Hawks, the Habs let the Hawks hang around. Now they're letting the Kraken hang around. That's fair. How do I feel on Uri? I like Slavkovsky's game a lot. I think he's a very special type of player. Like, his size and skill is just rare. Do I think that Slavkovsky is gonna be, the type of offensive player that when you draft first overall, you have in your head like, "Oh, yeah, like 90-point player, 100-point player." I don't think he's that guy, but I think Slavkovsky, in taking him first overall, they were like, "We're not gonna get a guy that big with soft hands very often, so we're just gonna take him even if he's not like you know, the the prototypical first overall pick." But I think Slavkovsky's gonna be fine. I do think that on that first line with Suzuki Caulfield, he's always gonna be the 3rd guy on that line. And I know in preseason, some people were talking about like, "Oh, maybe we'll put, Doc back with Slavkovsky and create like a big second line." I could see it. I could see that happening at some point. Yeah, he's big. Dobson's tall too, man. He's 6'4". They got some big guys. They got some big guys coming on this team. This team does not feel small anymore. I know Suzuki's short and stocky. Caulfield's obviously small. Hudson's small, but the team does. I would say the team does not feel small. They brought in like Bolduc and Demidov, who they're not like big, but they bring the average up. The puck is not following him tonight. Slav is there, but Kolnick are holding on to the puck. Yeah, I mean they haven't scored tonight. The top line, right? Oh, yeah, the unassisted goal. That's right, the unassisted goal. Yeah, I mean that was a screen. That one was a bit tough, but yes, so far I thought Montembeau was good against Chicago. Was not good. It was not great against Toronto. I don't think he's quite there yet. I don't think. Yeah, we haven't seen like a big game from him yet. I would say. Yeah, this is another slow moving on the shot counter. Eh? Yeah, I agree. Montembeau was I didn't think was good at all against the Leafs, and then he was good on Saturday against the Hawks, and then He's been alright tonight-ish. It's just the shot count's so low. Like, it doesn't feel like it, but whatever. That's what they keep saying. Before the Cooley lovers show up, both Slavkovsky and Cooley are tied in points. So here's the interesting thing, and here's what I've been thinking about this team, in terms of, let's say, alternate universe, they take Cooley over Slavkovsky. Let's say alternate universe, Mishkov says, "Draft me. All good. I'm happy to come," and the Canadiens wanna draft him. So they've got, like, Mishkov, Cooley. Ugh, we'll wait on that thought. The Kraken have taken the lead. Mm. Man, McCann spins and fires off the draw. Point shot hits McCann. It's able to drop right in front of it, spins and fires, beats Montembeault glove side. Yeah. Two softies. Another softie. Unreal bounce. Two softies. So we're feeling like it was two softies. The deflection, I'm a bit like, but that one I'm not thrilled about. Yeah, I mean, Arbor was on the ice for the two of them, right? He's -2 on the night now? No, he's -1, but, yeah. Yeah. Bounce is bad, but, that will be of little solace to Martin St. Louis, I'm sure. I mean, lack of scoring, they've got 3 goals tonight. I mean, Montembeault's given up 4 goals on, 18 shots. Yeah, this is fair. I feel like the Canadiens, especially in the second period, had lots of offensive zone time and just, like, didn't really done. And since, like, the latter half of the second period, I feel like Seattle's looked faster, looked more aggressive, playing a much more straightforward game, and the Canadiens are not matching up well against that. Yeah, being starting the season 2-2 against the teams that they've played against would be, I think, a bit of a downer compared to 4 and 3-1. Yeah, he's -1 in the game. I thought he was on the ice for the 2 and then not against 1, but he was +1 before. Yeah, the Habs are on a 12-game undefeated, or I guess 2 overtime loss. 10-game, they're 10-0-2 at home, dating back to last season. Check I wasn't on the ice for the Newman goal. All right, guess I'm just losing it now. I must be misremembering. I know. He's not that impressive. Why can't we? Speaking of which, I don't know if you guys saw Kotkaniemi healthy scratch tonight. Did you guys know? That's things are not going well for Kotkaniemi in Carolina. Was there only like 6 years left on that deal or something like that? Yeah, these Habs do not. They need to pick me up. Oof, that was a nice deflection by the Seattle guy. Come on, they're letting shots go in. Who's got the broken stick? Yeah, that's offside. Yeah, it's hard for Line to ask for more ice time with the way he's playing. Yeah, why are the Habs so like Debbie Downer right now? They're only a goal back. This commercial break, I think, is coming at a good time. Marty can reset the team. Yeah, I will say this about Arbor though. They're down a goal with like 6 minutes left in the game. So even if Arbor had a good game, wouldn't he probably wouldn't be playing much the rest of the way anyway. They're gonna want Dobson, Hudson, Matheson out as much as possible. Bolduc is playing. He has tonight. He has no points. Obviously, he's played 13 minutes, 13 shifts. He's got one shot and one hit. So a pretty quiet night for Bolduc. Um, which he was probably due. The margin of error is really thin for Arbor because Jaden Struble can basically fill that role, and Arbor is a little more like he's got a little more high end in his game, but then also more. potential for errors, but if Marty's given, like, Line and Jack-Eye, they're in the lineup right now, but, like, if he wants to tighten things up, those are the first 2 guys that are gonna go. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. I mean, he's not, like, directly responsible. These things do happen. But, when you're on the ice for the goals, Marty might not be patient. I don't know. Seattle's look good tonight. They have a new coach. They have a new GM. I mean, Ron Francis was promoted, so he's still there, but they've definitely got a new attitude compared to last year with Bilesma. So I think Seattle looks like they're a little back on track. I thought 2 years ago they looked like a really tough team to play against, and then last year they didn't do so well. But they also have injuries as well. So yeah, when is Struble and Veleno going to get in there? I don't want a Pizzetta situation like last year. Pizzetta's Pizzetta. He's like not that he's not that good a player. So you're the 13th forward. But I think Veleno's like and Struble you don't want those guys languishing on the press box too long. You do want them to play. Yeah, seriously, Karen. And screw the Mariners and screw the Space Needle, which is kind of ugly looking, especially compared to the CN Tower. No love for Seattle right now. Canada is distinctly anti-Seattle right now. Totally agree. But yeah, I would like to see Struble and Veleno get in there. Anyways, the point I was going to make like 20 minutes ago about Slavkovsky was in an alternate world where you draft Cooley and maybe you get Mishkov, and then you've got Mishkov, Cooley, Caulfield, Suzuki. You've got this talented team, undoubtedly very talented team, but like you've got a lot of smaller forwards. I don't know if the talent supersedes the lack of size. And I think this organization does not want to find that out. I think they feel like they have enough small players on the team. Everybody else they're bringing in has got good size. And frankly, in this league, looking at the playoffs, looking at who wins, you need the size. And that's why they took a guy like Slavkovsky, who's maybe got, uh, you know, less of that, point getting ability of Cooley. But Slavkovsky's just a way bigger player. He's bigger. He's a lot bigger, and he can do a lot of stuff as a big that Cooley will never be able to do. So I get the risk there. And you could say the same about Becker, who needs to play and needs to be healthy, but 6'4", 6'3" right-handed defensemen are hard to find, especially ones that move well. And the Canadiens just, traded 2 first-round picks and a very good young player in Emil Heineman to get one, and then had to pay him $9.5 million. So if you could just draft one who's comparably good or could potentially be as good, you take him. I mean, Monty was good last year. Monty had an over 900 save percentage last year. I mean, I know it's not by much. I think it was 903, but I think Monty was very good last year, and I think definitely deserves a chance to prove what he can do. Joe Veleno, keep in mind Joe Veleno was brought in to be the 13th forward. So like the bar for him to clear to be useful is not that high. They did not sign him expecting him to be amazing or anything. But can he win some faceoffs? Can he use his speed and size to be an average player? Hey, we got a Canadiens power play with 5 minutes to go. I mean, Demidov just got a really nice assist today. So, oof, look at Hudson go. If he does not get it done this year, if he can't carve out a position as a fourth line center, He's out. Absolutely. He's playing in Switzerland next year, for sure. I mean, he got bought out. He made what, $2.25 million and got bought out. Yeah. This is last chance for him. But I also don't think he has the speed and skill to be a fourth line player. It's just he's never had to be one before, and I'm sure has not accepted that he has to be that. But if he's accepted it now and realizes it's the last stop in the league, he can do it. All right. I mean, this the game right here, right? If this power play can finally connect, 1 too many pass on the opening minute of that power play. Here we go. Second wave of the power play. Man, line A. Not can't one timer that one either. There you go. The power play. Yeah, the place went crazy after Demidov's goal. That's all we needed. Yeah. Hey, man, that's why Line's here. He's not just a great scorer; he's a great passer too. He's just a great offensive player. Yeah. Hopefully, once they just get, hopefully it's just getting older and getting, meaner. I think Seattle's going to cause some trouble in the Western Conference this year. I see them being easily able to compete for a playoff spot with like Vancouver, Calgary, and all them. Well, they're going to have to do it. They want to seal the deal. They're going to have to do it in overtime. Who are you sending out for 3-on-3? I guess it's going to be probably Suzuki, other like New Hook, like other face-off guy, and then Hudson, and then the other face-off guy goes off, and Caulfield comes on, something like that. Or you just put, hey, just put Suzuki, Caulfield, right? Yeah, it'd be fun to see. Definitely got to see Demidov. We definitely got to see Demidov in overtime with the way he's played tonight. 2-point night for Demidov. Well, I don't know. They came back and won with 15 seconds left against Chicago, and then they just scored late and are put the game in overtime. Like, I'm not saying they got a lot of sandpaper and grit, but I feel like they've hung on in these games, and even if they haven't like played their best, they still have been able to like score big goals in overtime. Yeah, I had to mute for a second. Biggie Smalls is my dog. Biggie Smalls is he doesn't like when the game goes to overtime because he knows what time his walk is at, and he's like, wait a minute, you're supposed to be walking me now. He'll be fine. Don't worry about him. Matheson, Slavkovsky, Newhook. Interesting group. This is a pretty chance-free overtime so far. You don't usually see them like this, or neither team seems particularly set. All right, here we go. Now the Canadians are kind of getting set in the zone. I do talk. Yeah. Sorry, I'm like deep in concentration walking watch. I didn't realize you just came in and I was like, "Oh, I'm not talking." Yeah, sorry. I do talk. I do talk. I'm watching the game and we're in 3 on 3. Yeah, sorry. It's 3 on 3 hockey is really compelling, I have to say. And I desperately don't want this game to go to a shootout. So I definitely want somebody to score in the next. It's 155 left. Nobody's really created any offense on this 3 on 3 overtime. And I was gonna I was gonna say the Habs had a chance, but Caulfield is in the crease and Decord is knocked over and seems pretty unhappy about it. But I don't believe there's a penalty. I believe it was just what do they call it? Incidental. Oh, well, no, it was Chandler Stevenson just shoved Caulfield right into the. Yeah, I this grid thing is interesting. You guys have to keep in mind that it is October, and guys are not, I think, ready to put their lives on the line just yet. I thought against Chicago, though, they fought back quite a bit, didn't they? Hey, Marty calls a timeout with 1:44 to go. Uh, Interesting strategy to call the timeout. Yeah, exactly. He was skating towards the net. Chandler hit him or kind of tapped him, and then obviously Coffey's got the momentum and he just keeps going. Wait, what are you joking about? I missed the joke. I don't remember what you asked. All right, 144. Who do we got out? I assume we got Caulfield. We got Suzuki. Are they gonna pan to the blue line? I mean, it's gonna be Hudson, right? Yeah, it's Hudson. Look at Hudson dancing at the blue line. There you go. Cole Caulfield wins it. He was skating down. Looked like he was going to go behind the net, and the goalie moved a little early. Found the room short side. Ends it. Yeah, the Canes won in overtime. Look at Caulfield. Hudson drops it back to Suzuki. Drops it back to there. Yeah. Hudson drops it back to Caulfield. Caulfield looks like he's going to go behind the net, but Ford is not lined up against the short side post. And that's what's, oh my goodness, there was not a lot of room there. That was impressive. Thank you so much. That was a good game. I know that I know the Habs didn't play an amazing game, but 5 goals is 5 goals. We still get our chicken wings at the end of the night here. Yeah, I think that's probably how I would see it. The offense bailed out the goaltending tonight, but I will say that the Montreal Canadiens have offense. Like, this team can score, and I do think that they're probably gonna win quite a few games like this season, where they maybe don't play their best, but they just have so much talent that they can get it done. Cole Caulfield, your first star. Yeah, 13 game undefeated in regulation streak. I think it's totally fair. But you know what, Timur? The offense is actually good enough on the Habs now that they can actually bail out an otherwise maybe not amazing performance, which is pretty cool. I don't think the Canadians have been like that. When was the last time the Canadians were like that? It's been forever. Canadians have that much offense. You said it. We can't lose the game, and we did not lose the game. There was no space for Caulfield. Pretty remarkable. All right, y'all. Well, thank you so much for two. I got to go do about last night, which regularly scheduled about last night with all the highlights, everything you could possibly want. Um, yeah, let's do this. What do they play? Thursday? Maybe we'll do next game. I know we're not going to do this for every game. We'll do this for as many games as we can. Thank you so much, everybody, and,